Welcome to this video summary of How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie on Quickbook Official. How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie is a self-help book that has been read by millions of people worldwide. The book was first published in 1936 and has since become a classic in the self-help genre. It provides practical advice on how to build positive relationships and influence others. In this summary, we will explore the key principles outlined in the book. Part 1. Fundamental Techniques in Handling People. The first part of the book focuses on fundamental techniques for handling people. Carnegie argues that the most important thing to remember when dealing with people is to always show respect and appreciation. He emphasizes the importance of avoiding criticism and condemnation, as people are more likely to respond positively to praise and encouragement. Carnegie suggests focusing on finding solutions to problems and offering constructive feedback. Another important principle outlined in this section is the need to listen actively. Carnegie argues that listening is a key skill in building positive relationships, and that we should make an effort to understand other people's perspectives and feelings. He suggests that we avoid interrupting others and show genuine interest in what they have to say. Carnegie also stresses the importance of acknowledging people's accomplishments and showing appreciation for their efforts. He argues that people have a fundamental desire to feel important and valued, and that by showing them respect, we can establish positive relationships. Part 2. 6 Ways to Make People Like You. The second part of the book outlines 6 ways to make people like you. Carnegie argues that by following these principles, we can build positive relationships and influence others. The first principle is to become genuinely interested in other people. Carnegie suggests that by showing a genuine interest in others, we can establish positive relationships and build trust. The second principle is to smile. According to Carnegie, a smile is a powerful tool that can make people feel comfortable and welcome. By smiling, we can create a positive first impression and establish a positive tone for our interactions. The third principle is to remember people's names. Carnegie argues that people value their names more than any other word, and that by remembering names, we can show respect and establish positive relationships. The fourth principle is to be a good listener. By listening actively and paying attention to others, we can build rapport and establish trust. The fifth principle is to talk in terms of the other person's interests. Carnegie argues that by focusing on the other person's interests, we can establish common ground and build positive relationships. The sixth principle is to make the other person feel important. Carnegie argues that people have a fundamental desire to feel important and valued, and that by showing appreciation and respect, we can establish positive relationships. Part 3. How to Win People to Your Way of Thinking. The third part of the book focuses on how to win people to your way of thinking. Carnegie argues that by using certain techniques, we can influence others and persuade them to see things from our perspective. The first principle outlined in this section is to avoid arguments. Carnegie argues that arguments are rarely effective in persuading others, and that they can be harmful to relationships. Instead of arguing, he suggests that we focus on finding common ground and building consensus. The second principle is to show respect for the other person's opinions. Carnegie argues that by showing respect, we can establish a positive tone for our interactions and create an environment of mutual respect. The third principle is to never say, "You're wrong." Carnegie argues that this phrase can be harmful to relationships, and that it is better to focus on finding common ground and building consensus. The fourth principle is to let the other person do most of the talking. Carnegie argues that by letting the other person talk, we can gain a better understanding of their perspective and establish rapport. The fifth principle is to let the other person feel that the idea is theirs. By allowing others. Thanks for watching this video summary of How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie on Quickbook Official. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more book summaries like this one.